Hi girls, good morning. So if you can, please watch this video. It will really help you for the next class. Last time when we started, the whole cafeteria was so loud, it was really hard to teach. So let me make this video for you so you can see what we're doing, so that when you come to the next class, hopefully you'll be able to just kind of sit down and start working, and I'll just walk around and do the best I can to help you all. So the next class, we're doing our hardest project yet. It's going to be a mug. And we're going to make a mug out of the two slabs, just like we did with the little vessel. Same exact process. You will be given a rectangular slab and some other shaped slab, doesn't really matter. Just like with the little vessel, what you're going to do is you're going to take your rectangular slab and you're going to start rolling it up a little bit. Clay has memory, and this will help it remember that it's supposed to stay round. Okay. Now you're going to stand it up and you're going to make it into a cylinder with the edges slightly overlapping, just a little bit. Let me see if I can show it to you. Just like this, okay? If you have the time, which I know we don't have a lot of, you can try to make it as round as you can. You're going to take the cylinder and you're going to place it right on top of your other slab. See if my slab is big enough. Barely. Okay, here we go. Okay, now you're going to use this tool that I usually give you, and you're going to cut off all the excess slab from the bottom. Get rid of all the excess. Okay, just like this. And definitely save the scraps, because we'll be using them later. All right. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to blend in the seam. Now this is where you want to take a little bit of extra time and just work it together. You can do it with your finger, you can do it with a pencil eraser that I usually give you. It doesn't really matter what you use. But take your time and get that seam looking nice, because one, it's going to look nice, and two, it will be much less likely to crack in the kiln when I fire it. Just like this. See, that didn't take too long. There we go. Okay. And next thing you're going to do is you're going to do the same thing, but on the inside. Now these guys can be a little bit hard to reach sometimes. That's why I started you with a small vessel. So this is where I would be using my pencil eraser to just kind of force it to smudge over. And of course it's going to look terribly lumpy. So what you can do is then you go in with your finger and you smooth it. Do you see how I'm supporting it on the outside so that the wall doesn't get all bent out of shape? So I'm pushing against my other hand. All right. And smooth it over. I like to go this way and then this way, and that really gets the clay to be nice and smooth. All right. I know it didn't take me very long here. It's going to take you a little bit longer. That's okay. Be patient with yourself. Okay? And I'm always rounding it off. Okay. Next thing, if you remember, we smooth the bottom up, right? So we're going to take a finger, a pencil, whatever you would like, and we're going to take that bottom slab and just smooth it up onto the wall of the mug. Just like this. All around. I know, boring, be patient. We'll take 30 seconds. Hey, let's not put my sweatshirt in there too. Okay. All around. And then use your finger to smooth. Now the slabs that I give you are really, really wet. If they weren't, I would tell you use a sponge and a little bit of water, but you probably won't even need to. As you can see, I'm not using any water at all. It just doesn't need it. I'm always going back to that seam and just making sure that I don't see any like gaps or cracks in it. Okay. Now, next thing, we're gonna make that coil. Do you remember? Made the coil and we'll put it on the inside. So we're gonna do the same thing again. That's why I had you do it last time. So the coil should be like a little thinner than a pencil. And it can be in multiple parts, because it probably will do that. So you're just gonna lay it right into the seam of the mug on the inside, the seam between the bottom and the wall. Now you probably will not be able to see it on the camera. If I try to show it to you right now, I'll try anyway, just in case. But my guess is that the inside of the mug is going to be too dark for you to see anything. But we did this in class last time, so hopefully you still remember. You line that coil right into, yeah, right, can't see anything. Oh, there we go. Okay, just like this. Now you're going to tap it into place. You're going to blend it with the bottom of the mug, and again with the wall of the mug. Right now I'm doing the bottom, and I will show it to you. Now that I know that it works. So I tapped it in at the bottom. I'm going to use my finger and smooth. Yes, you cannot see what you're doing, you just have to feel for it. There we go. And now it's smoothed. And now I'm gonna go ahead and use my pencil eraser and bring it up onto the wall of the mug to blend our second attachment point, which is the wall. I'm trying to go fast. I know you guys did not expect to have homework in this class, so I'm trying not to take too much of your time. But honestly, I do think it's going to be really helpful for you, especially given that we're not given a lot of time and the cafeteria is not exactly conducive. Here we go. See, I blended it onto the wall of the mug. And now I'm going to take my finger again and smooth. Always support your mug. See how my hand is here, supporting? Otherwise, you're going to end up with a big bulge here. As you're pressing on the clay from the inside, it's going to bulge out. So if you don't want that, then support it on the other side. Okay, here we go. I'm trying not to use a sponge at all. You will have a sponge if you want to smooth something over. See, it's blended into the wall and into the bottom. Okay. Now you're going to take this whole construction, and this is a little bit hard. I might have to help you with this, but you flip it over. You make sure that it's not bulging anywhere, that you like the shape. You're going to wet your fingers. Wet the bottom just slightly. And push it in a little bit. Just a tiny bit right in the center. Until you have a foot. See how I just pushed it in right here? Okay. Now this is where I would take a sponge, squeeze it out really well. You don't want anything like soaking, dripping wet, nothing like that. Just a little bit damp. And you're going to wipe down that kind of a sharp edge so that it's all nice and smooth. Okay? All right, let's do the rim and the handle. Okay, the handle is really easy. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise. You roll a coil. It's nice to use a surface to roll it on so that you can see that it's uniform. Right, you don't want it to be like super thick in one part and super thin in another. It's okay to stop in the middle and just take a look at it. Make sure that it is the way you like it. Oh, look at me punching my mug. Okay. And then you're going to tap it like this. On one side and on the other side. Until it looks nice and flat. You're going to curve it. Pinch off the end, make it nice and flat like this. Now you're going to take a tiny bit of water, just a tiny, tiny bit. And you're gonna rub it until it's really sticky. I know we talk about stickiness a lot. So here we go. Okay, sticky. It should stick to your finger. Find the seam of your mug because you're going to hide it. Put it right over the seam and squiggle like this until you feel the clay connecting. So you can pull on it and it's not really coming off. And now you're going to shape it the way you like it. Now you can put your hand in there, you can see what you like. And you do the same thing on the bottom. Shape it nicely, flatten it, make it sticky on the part that's going to your mug. Find your attachment point, support on the other side, squiggle, squiggle, squiggle. I will be there to help you with all of this. This is just a little preview. I wanted you to see it because some of you guys like to move a lot faster than others and I want you to know what you're doing. Okay, here we go. We now have a handle. Let's do the rim. This is really square right now. This would not be very comfortable to drink out of. Wet your fingers. Go all around. Keep wetting them so they don't get stuck. Wet the whole entire rim. Now you're going to pinch the rim slightly. I am pinching and sliding. And then you're going to take your trusty sponge and you're going to smooth it down. And this you can do as much or as little as you want, okay? Sorry, I can't talk this morning. I haven't had enough coffee. Here we go. I'll do better on Wednesday, I promise. Any type of bumps that you have, you can smooth down with a sponge. The sponge does take away clay as it goes over it. So any excess clay you can always take away with a sponge. Okay? And you have a mug. And that's what we're going to be doing this Wednesday. Now, if you have any questions, you can always email me. I'm going to give your parents my email. You can also reply to me on Instagram or YouTube. I am more than happy to answer any questions. Otherwise, I'll see you girls in class. We're going to have a fabulous time. And I want you all to have a mug to take home. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye.